Is that you, Marita? It says Facebook user. I think that's Marita saying yay. I don't know why it's telling me Facebook user. I bet you that's Marita. Okay, is that you saying yay right now? I can see that you just messaged me saying you're on. I need to share this out to groups really quick. Let me share this out to groups. For some reason, yeah, it is you. I know it's you. It's weird. It's some of these, it is you. Okay, so, fuck, I don't know why. Hi, Elaine Bellinger. Some names come through and some people don't. For some reason, I think it has to do with Restream. I have to call them and find out why some people's stuff is saying Facebook user. I think it's where they're watching it from. Are you watching it from within the group, Marita, or are you watching it on the business page? I'm wondering if it's just one area where those people that are watching it in that area are Facebook users. Hey, Tracy Swinson, how are you? Hey, Marge Smith, hello. Hey, Amy Lee from Australia. Hi, Melissa Burrell. So, let me share this out to groups really quick, guys, and get that going on. And we'll get started. If anybody wants a charming tonight, they are $25, so you can use this link. Oh, I didn't get my link ready. I got my camera ready, but not my link. Damn it. 1 second. Let me see. Can I find the link? Okay. I don't know why it does this. Use the search. 1 second, guys. I just gotta get ready for you. Sorry. Okay. So here's the link. If anybody wants a charming tonight, you use this link that I'm putting into the chat. It's $25. You would send $25 to that PayPal with your name and then tell me that you sent it. I'll check it on my phone. Barring that it's made it, you get a charming tonight. If any of my Patreon subscribers at the level of the Seraphim are here, you guys can get your charming too if you choose to. Those guys can always get their charming for the it's the last day of April and everybody's gotten their Aprils, but if anybody wants to cash in their Mays, they can for May. So, oh, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's too meta. That's like me on me. 1 second, I just messed up the music. Alright, there we go. Alright, let me go back. What am I doing? I'm spacey. You know, guys, I was so spaced out today, I actually went, when I went on my walk today, I came home and I walked into the house and I tried to use my key fob to the car to unlock the front door. I'm a little preoccupied. So, let's just say that. Been grounding a lot. Oh no, I didn't just do it again. Okay. Dan, get it together. Pay attention. What are you doing? So tonight is Charm Night, guys. It is a paid service tonight. Unless you're one of my Patreon subscribers at the highest level, you get a free charming every month. Charmings are $25. The Linktree link is in there under the Restream IO. And if you use that link, that'll give you access to my PayPal. For some reason, it looks like it's not coming over onto YouTube. Sean, you're not... Sean, are you watching now on YouTube? What are you doing? And you're saying you're from Australia? You're watching from within the group? Okay, so it might be the people, because this broadcasts to the group and to the business page, and sometimes it seems like my people that are part of the group, like you, Nate, whoever, that might be watching from in there are not coming up with your names for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not technologically savvy enough to know. I just kind of roll with it. It's just, it gets awkward because then there will be more than one Facebook user and I don't know who's talking to me. So you've moved over to the YouTube now, Sean? You're moving on up like the Jeffersons? Is that what you're doing? Let me share this out to groups really quick. 1 moment. Alright. Just give me 1 moment. What's the matter, kitten? Why are you crying? It's because Daddy's on video. And are you looking for Jay right now? You need to stop that. Not right now. Can you like bathe later? That's so gross. Oh my god. I love like all the animals, they were all just asleep just a minute ago. And now that I'm talking, they all like kind of start licking each other. Like, it's like, calm down, everyone. Like, Jesus. The cat's crying in the hallway. It's single motherhood. It's hard. All right, let me see here. It's hard being a single mother. Fucker. Motherfucker. All right. I know King Arthur has plenty of food. Trust me. He's just a whiny baby. I'm going to start in just a moment. Marita, are you in a hurry? Okay, Rose is there. So Rose will probably be my other Facebook user that will show up. Can Rose comment really quick? Because I see Marita, and that's you. It still says Facebook user as your name. But then I see like Kat Mutzenberger. Where are you watching from? Are you watching from the business page? Because I can see Kat's name. So I don't understand why I can see some people and then I can't see others people's names. It's been driving me nuts. Marge Schmitz, you sent money for a charming. Thank you, Marge. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Let me just double check that, make sure that it went through. I believe that it did, but I just need to get my PayPal open. And I did receive that. Thank you very much. All right, so let's get started. I'll start with Marita, and then we'll do Marge. If anybody else wants to jump in, you certainly can. Cats might get restless. Okay, that's fine. Oh, you just switched to YouTube. That's fine, Kat. Facebook had weird captions. Okay, maybe, I don't know. It's just, I can't figure out why some says Facebook users and some don't. So it drives me a little nuts, but because it's hard to tell who it is, and then I can't really respond to them. But anyways, it's not about that. I'm not going to get all worked up over that. I've got plenty of other shit to get worked up about, trust. And I'm trying not to. I'm being a good girl today. Oh, what a day. What a day. All right, so let's get started. Let's do your charming Marita. Do you have a subject that you want me to charm on? Also, Marge, if you want to give me like a one-word subject or a type of charming, I can do like past life, or some people want love charming, some people want career charming, I don't know that I'm the best one for a love charming right now. I'm just going to say that right out of the gate. So if anybody's trying to buy a love charming tonight, I'm warning you. I'm like on the edge of the cliff. That could mean that I could be excellent tonight and it could be mind-blowing, or I could totally like wreak havoc through your love life, and I'll probably start crying. I'm just warning you. So, hi Annalisa Sung, how are you? So, cat story, mine yelling at me, customer on phone, asked if it was a baby. Future direction, money, career endeavors. Oh, nothing major, right, Marita? Just a little bit. Just a little charming. All right, let's see what we've got going on. I am going to change the camera. Let me put the chat up so I can see what you guys are saying. Let's see. So we want future direction, money, and career endeavors for Marita. All right, so we have an E, we have an L, and we have an I. Not much. Okay, I love, first off, where's my pointer? I love that we have the breathe charm right here, right out of the gate. That's the first thing that I look at. This anchor, too, is kind of feeling a little bit, how do I want to put this? To me, this anchor feels like this is something that has been left behind. And I know, obviously, that you and Rose have moved, right? You guys have shared that or talked about that. So I think that that's some of this energy. This generally represents sort of the past. So I want to feel like some heaviness is being left behind or is in the process of being left behind. That's why we have this breathe charm right here. It's kind of like take a deep breath, kind of reallocate our energy, renegotiate things, and sort of let's let go of this is the feeling that I get. It also feels a little bit, you know, it is upside down too, on top of the fact that it's an anchor. So to me, it's face up, which is good, but it's it's an anchor. So to me, it feels like maybe things have been a little topsy-turvy and a little heavy for you, but it's time to kind of breathe and get centered. And I want, like, as far as, you know, my charm magic thing goes, where I just want us to breathe so that we sort of settle that in like this. I'm just going to do this with it, and we set it upright, right? Get that breath going. And you know what I'm talking about, Marita, because of you do this sort of work. You know about breath work and getting centered. And I'm not saying that you're not centered at all. I'm just saying that that's sort of what I feel like that's telling me, is that you are trying to breathe, you're aware of it, but it's like, bring that power in even more for yourself right now during this time. The hardened heart is next to the jaguar, and I love that you have the jaguar because of your school, the path of Ish. And just to me, this is always about like shamanic traditional magic, or at least that's what I put the jaguar in the box to represent. He's also like personal power and strength, and definitely sort of spiritual magic. So, and I like that he's next to the hardened heart, and the hardened heart to me is sort of the heart of our like whole journey of life, right? It's, and I don't mean hardened in a way like it's a bad thing. To me, it's wooden. I just call it the hardened heart, but it has sort of life scars on it, right? You know, it has these sort of what do I want to say? Like battle wounds, right? But it's not defeated. It's stronger than the battles that it's been in. You also have half of the what originally was the broken heart. So let me just, what is that about? I kind of feel like when I ask this, the sort of what I hear in my head, as strange as this may sound, is that everything you do right now needs to be wholehearted, right? Everything that you sort of put your energy into at this time needs to be wholehearted, and there needs to be a focus on the strength of your heart. I'm not saying that you would do things half-hearted, but I feel like that's kind of the message between these two charms, is that we want to remember sort of who we are, the warrior spirit that's within us. That's what this heart sort of represents. I also kind of want to upright this heart a little bit, if that's okay. Just because I feel like it's sort of central in all of this. I like how it shows up here center in the present mind, right? Because this area here is sort of your present mind space. This is your higher mind, and this is your subconscious. So we have these hearts here kind of resting on the line of the present mind, and this being the past, this being the present, this being the future, right? So we have this heart sort of resting here between conscious and subconscious, and it is sort of like all of the struggles maybe you've gone through monetarily, all of the struggles with things that you've maybe attempted to create, and sort of the learning and the knowledge that's come from that you have within your heart now, right? That you have within your experience. And so to me, underneath here, there is these sort of memories of like, I don't want to say brokenheartedness, but to me, this half heart here feels a little bit like sort of the worries or of previous failures or of previous things that maybe didn't work out or work out the way that you thought was planned. So it's kind of got your actual heart, right? The strength of your actual heart is here. It's upright, but it's sort of a little topsy-turvy, similar to the breathe charm, right? But if we take these breaths, right, and sort of center ourselves and get, you know, let go of whatever's anchoring us or weighing us down or not working for us, I feel like we start to do this breath, this heart sort of comes to life again. It's not that it's not to life, but it uprights itself, right? And I feel like this drifts down into the subconscious. Like, bye-bye! Like it becomes a distant memory, right? And so we're operating from the strength of this, right? Now, this 5 to me, because you're asking about career endeavors and money, I feel like this could be a money thing. Eights, you have an 8 the total in both white dice. Eights to me are about balance in the tarot, so I feel like that's a good number, so to speak, right? And I feel like these two dice could be working together, but I feel like this particular 5 down in your subconscious feels like you really want to bring it in. You're really working on how to bring it in a very big way. This white dice also sometimes it can represent sort of familial things to me. I have red dice, green dice. Green dice usually represent money to me. I would have liked to have seen a green dice here, but what I do want to say is I feel like white always represents sort of spirit to me, or working with spirit. So keeping that in mind, this being in your subconscious, I do feel like this 5, if I was to predict anything for you, I feel like there's something in the works right now in your subconscious. There's some sort of a plan. It feels big because we have a high number here. It's sitting right underneath this heart, right? And it's sort of waiting to kind of come out. And it's happening like right now, I want to say in present time. Hey, Amy Jo Kastner. Sorry, guys, I'm not paying attention to the chat box. So if anybody said hello, hey, Mary, Marge says she wants a past life. Okay, cool, Marge. So I feel like something is being worked up here right now. The plan is sort of big, right? And it feels like it could be fruitful, if that makes sense. Now, up here, this 3 to me, this feels like, it's funny, Marita, I feel like you have 3 significant guides. I don't know why, but I feel like these guys are up in your higher mind representing as your 3 significant guides. This is your money down here, right? And it's sort of like your guides are working in your higher self, and your subconscious self is kind of putting together the plan, and the guides are up here sort of waiting to bring it all together. That's sort of the feeling that I get from both of these dies. I know that sounds kind of different or weird, but the totality of all of this is this 8, which to me leads to this idea of balance. So I feel like you will be bringing in something that will not only pay off, but will also bring balance. But you have to sort of connect to that breath, connect to that heart, remember how strong you are, get that jaguar sort of strut going, that energy. Let's see what this charm is, because these are more in the future. One is peace. So it's yet to show up yet, right? Like things have been sort of, there's been a lot of shifting happening for you. So I feel like this piece is coming. I feel like you have to bring it in, but you have to, it's almost like I feel like you have to bring it in on the breath, right? Like we have to breathe our way into this piece. And there's a lot of strength in these 2 charms here. So we have to remind ourselves as we breathe. It's funny, like as I'm saying this, I feel like, who's Eli? Now or Lie. It's all lies, girl. No, I'm just kidding. But it could be Lie, Eli, like not lie like tell a lie, but I'm thinking like lie down, like relax, like lie down, like relax and breathe. All right, so what I was going to say is we bring this breath in, and with the softness of this breath, or the I don't want to say determination, but with the, can you not lick each other right now, please? Or go do it in the other room. With this breath, to me, I feel like it's the softness of this breath and the steadiness and the intention of this breath that brings in the strength of this heart, which accesses sort of the magic of this jaguar. Do you understand? And that brings about this peace. And at the whole time of doing all of this, whatever this plan is down here, the determination in this number 5, which 5 is about change too. If we remember that, like in the tarot, I always associate 5s with change. So there's something going on in your subconscious where you're not only are you about to change stuff up, you want to bring it in a big way. And then up here, we have dwell on good things and all good things will come to you. Okay, and this is sitting next to you. This is in your higher mind, sitting next to your, what I feel is your 3 spirit guides. I don't know if you have 3, but bring it in spirit, big money. I feel like that's what this is, right? I don't know a lot about gambling either. I don't know if eights are significant in gambling. Like if you throw the dice and you get an eight, like that's a good thing. But I feel like these are strong numbers and I feel like they coincide. But this is playing around down in your subconscious and this is playing around in the higher mind, which makes me think, sorry guys, the autofocus on this camera drives me nuts. Which makes me think that your guides are at work up here, your subconscious is at work down here, and right now you need to be living from this big, beautiful heart, working that magic that you know you have within you. And also, coming into the future, I have to say this, you have a lot of work ahead of you. The barbell is here. You're strong, right? There's strength in this heart, there's strength in this jaguar, but you're about to get stronger as you move forward into the future. This to me speaks to the idea that there might be hard work, but I also feel like the strength that is gained from this hard work, or the experience that is gained from this hard work, it's sort of like, how do I want to say this? Like builds your muscles, your creative muscles, or your spiritual connected muscles. To me, this feels like it's like a payoff in a way. How do you want to say? You know, like you go to the gym, you work out really hard, you get the results that you work for. And so these two charms here feel like they're ready and willing to do the work. And this says to me that the muscles will be built in a way, or the strength will continue to build. And I feel like there is this opportunity for, how do I want to put it? Like, I mean, this is not going to be easy, right? The barbell is not like an easy charm, right? It's almost like we're trading an anchor for a barbell. And it's funny that they're both across from one another. Like one's in the past and one's in the future. But the barbell is much more easier to manage. And it actually has a productive effect on us, right? When we're thinking about the barbell and we're ripping those curls and we're building those muscles, we feel better, we get those endorphins running, we get all, so like everything that you'll be doing, I feel like in the future will be more focused for you and Rose, or like your thing kind of thing, where you're flexing your muscle, you're doing your work through like the work of your heart with your magic, creating your peace, dwelling on the good things, working your way towards all of it. And to me, there is rewards to be reaped. Like for this to me doesn't feel like, this feels like whatever we left behind for you might have been just like a drag, or not really, like was dragging on you by the point that you left it, right? So to me, it feels like there is still hard work that I don't see this as, like you've set it up so that you're going to get a workout. Let's say that, like for lack of a better term, because you have the barbell. But from that workout, you also get the rewards of having done it. And to me, the heart and the jaguar say that you have this, the capacity, the resilience, the desire to push through all of this, but you have to stay focused on that greater goal. That's this dwell on good things and all good things will come to you. And you will, I believe that you will find peace. It's like, it's almost like we need to settle ourselves. This is the lie in the sense of like, I keep hearing like lie down, or let sleeping dogs lie, kind of like sort of bring it to a place of peace through the breath. Get yourself to that center, get to that realization of this is what I want, this is how I'm gonna, and then start to, I almost feel like allow this to bubble up from the subconscious, or that energy, that desire. We don't necessarily need to particularly know exactly what, how do I want to say this, like how the plan is. We just have to follow this jaguar. Like I'm getting like this visual picture, follow the like it's almost like a shamanic journey in a way. Like follow the jaguar down the path, Marita, of your subconscious and figure out what it is that you need that will bring about this peace, and it will happen. Like I feel like these are very positive charms. It's just a matter of kind of finding the path, or sweeping like okay, this was sort of here upside down, right? We want to upright this. We want to upright our breath. We want to concentrate on these two things for now and allow this to percolate for a moment and come forward. And as we do, I feel like we then follow our magical jaguar, or the magic that is within us and within this heart, towards this idea of peace, towards this idea of good things, and we put in the work and we have it. And we are working along, like in conjunction with spirit, to get it, right? And I also think that the overall number 8 here says to me that it will at some point balance itself out and things will feel, I don't know if appropriate is the most exciting word when it comes to career and stuff, but it feels like balanced. It will feel whole. It will feel like reciprocated. That's a good word, reciprocated. In the sense you think of like an 8, when an 8 is like a infinity symbol, right? Like the symbol of the magician card. He always has the infinity symbol above him. It's like that energy kind of flowing back and forth. And we have that energy sort of here and here. We have breathe and peace. It's like there's this sort of like ebb and flow that's going to be happening when we start this breath action. Does that make sense, Marita? And when we bring that energy in, it all balances out. We can then focus on those good things and we can do the work to sort of build what it is that we want, and we reap the reward. We get the reward from the work. Yes, yes, lie down. Did you hear that? Breathe to survive. Good morning, Leona Marie. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Amanda Heach. I'm sorry I wasn't looking at the chat. I was reading the charms. I look at the charms when I'm doing the charming, so I don't pay attention to the chat. Well, maybe it is Jason Momoa's spiritual muscle. You're going to come up out of the water like all ripped like Aquaman. I don't know. Hi, Linda Aceto. How are you? This is charms, guys. So it's charmings, where I throw charms on the board and then I read them for you. They cost $25. So does that make sense, Marita? So I feel like you're on your way to some good stuff. I think that right now you're in this sort of period of letting it. Also, don't let past this thing to me here. We want to be aware of anywhere where sort of past limitations or past failures have crept in. This half heart here underneath, the whole heart, the hardened heart. To me, the hardened heart is like, it speaks of like strength in battle, of having been through a lot, having learned a lot, but not having been broken, not having been, do you see what I'm saying? Like, we have all the knowledge that's within that hardened heart. It's actually still a very beautiful and whole heart. To me, though, this half heart underneath it sort of feels like maybe worries of old failures or old things that maybe didn't work out. Don't let those permeate right now. Don't like bring those to the doorstep. We kind of we're letting those lie. We're letting those lie in the past, like stay. We don't want those. We didn't put those in the suitcases. So we want this to sort of like gently fall down into the subconscious as we take our breath and breathe and focus and allow this to sort of upright itself so that we don't question ourselves as much. And then we start to look at what is this that's percolating here that feels like it's a rather big deal. It's something that we've got planned. It feels beneficial. It's about change, right? And you certainly have a lot of change going on in your life right now. So I think that you're probably seeing some of those changes already in, like, say, the move and other things that are starting to happen. So allowing those changes to roll out, but there's still more to come. Like, there's still more down in your subconscious that is going to come up. And I feel like this jaguar saying, follow me. We know the way. Like, let's go. Yes, I feel the change in my subconscious. Good. I think that it's going to be beneficial. There is work to be done. Like, the barbell says to me that, you will have work, you will have stuff that you will be working on, but I also feel like there will be a personal benefit to doing that work, hence the barbell. Versus there's other things that would represent work in here. I have like a sewing machine. I have a pair of scissors. Sometimes that means clipping things away or cutting things away. But those also can represent work to me, like more finer detail stuff. But those didn't come out. The barbell did. So to me, it's more about like um, exercising our creative muscle or exercising our spiritual muscle in a way so that we know exactly what we're doing or how we're manifesting, that sort of a thing. Thank you. You're welcome, Marita. Hey, Ashley Plague, how are you? Okay, let me just see really quick. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, let me just double check something really quick and then I just got a message. By the way, those of you that subscribe to Patreon, tomorrow's forecast is up. I just got a message from one of my Patreon subscribers, and she's like, "Oh, tomorrow's forecast is so sweet." Da, da, da. And there's something I reference in there. You'll see it on YouTube tomorrow for free. It shows up on YouTube tomorrow. But if you're on Patreon, you can go check out tomorrow's forecast. I do get a little bit weepy. Big surprise there, but it's good. It's a good one. And they were just, oh, I don't want to do that. I almost stopped the stream. God, I'm like, this, I don't know if it's Pluto retrograde or what. It's just, I feel a little bit like, no, it's not bad. I just, I don't feel right. Anyways, I'm okay. This too shall pass, right? So, oh, Marita, do you want to take a picture of this charming, please? If you want to, let me go back to the camera. I'm sorry, I didn't even, before I clear the board. Do you want to take a picture of this so that you can keep it for reminders? I don't know how to flip it, Sean. I know it's backwards. It's always been backwards. It drives me nuts. And I don't know how to flip it. I've looked through the camera directions and stuff. I know how to flip it horizontally, but I don't know how to flip it this way. If I flip, I feel like it's flipped, vertically. It gives me the option to flip vertically because technically the camera's upside down up above it. And that's why I think I need to bring the camera all the way around the desk and it won't fit on this side with me. You're welcome, Marita. Thank you. Oh, you did take a pic. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to clear this off. Marge, you said you wanted a past life charming? Here's the link for anybody that may want to purchase a charming. You use the Linktree link, and it's $25. It's Ashley. It's $25. Use the PayPal link, and you send over $25, and then you can have a charming on whatever you want. So, like, you could be. I will warn you though. Hold on, let me switch cameras. If you're looking for a love charming, I may not be your guy today. I'm a little bit not angry or anything, but I'm having my own personal feelings around stuff right now. So I am caveating anybody who asks for love anything right now, you might want to second guess it. Or go to another psychic. Because right now, this psychic's love house is a little shaky. That's all I can say. Yes, for past life for Marge. Alright. Sorry, but sometimes we have to admit we're human and we can only do what we can do. So let me go to the other camera and let's get Marge going. All right, Marge. Past life for Marge. Okay. All right, what do we have going on here? Let's see. All right, so you only have one letter, Marge, which is E. I feel like this life was male. You have Vishnu here, but I don't feel like it's Indian. I feel like the first thing that I see here is I feel like there's this taboo love thing going on. I feel like you were in love with a woman that you weren't really allowed to be with for some reason. And the reason why I say that, Marge, is you have this rose here, which to me represents her. You also have the lovers underneath Vishnu, which makes me feel like whatever love that you had for this woman or whatever sort of relationship you had with her, which I feel like you did, it was sort of against whatever the societal norms were or whatever sort of the church said or religion said during that time. I feel like it was sort of like Middle Eastern though. I'm not feeling Asian or Indian in the sense of this. I feel more like it's taking me to the Middle East in some ways, or like to like a desert culture. And I'm not really sure on a timing of this life. This sun here to me makes me think of the desert. And then we have the sixth chakra charm here, which is the third eye, which is the intuition. A lot of these things are sort of turned over. It's really weird in this center here. Like I feel like, and I don't want to, I almost want to say like, it feels to me like you guys, oh well, that's weird. I don't know if I want to say that. All right, so I'm going to explain this. The graduation cap is here, right? This pin, which is a graduation cap, and it's upside down and face down next to the rose. And the rose to me represents this woman that you loved. And I feel like your heart was sort of either broken or um, uh, for whatever reason, I feel like you weren't able to love her in the way that you wanted to. I feel like society sort of wouldn't allow you to, or maybe you were in different sort of societal realms, right? Like maybe I feel if anything, she might have been wealthier than you, or her family was wealthier than your family. It was that sort of a thing. And so even though you guys maybe had a secret fair at some point, um, I feel like you were unable to be with her. And the reason why I say that is I feel like you guys did share love. This is one of my favorite charms and one of the smallest charms. You actually have two of my favorites. You have the bulldog, which is loyalty and nobility, right? And then you have the heart with the wings. And to me, which is sort of the symbol of my business. But this is like setting your heart free and experiencing joy. And so this is down in sort of what would be the subconscious area of this lifetime. To me, I feel like you were very loyal to this woman. And I feel like, but you weren't allowed to be with her. That's Vishnu sitting on this lovers coupled here, right? There's this healing charm here and this intuition charm, and both of them are kind of blocked. And I feel like this life, when you lost her or when you weren't able to be together with her, I feel like it was a very hard life for you to carry out or finish, is the best way to describe it. And that's this graduation cap being upside down or like face down. To me, I feel like you were loyal and you loved her. The sun also, not only does this make me think of desert, right? Or like sort of desert cultures, that sort of a thing, but it also feels like sort of the light of the sun like stops shining on you at some point. You have a wonderful journey as ahead down here, but it's upside down in the subconscious, which makes me feel like at some point this journey sort of stopped for you. I'm not so sure if she didn't pass away in this lifetime early or if she was married away. For some reason, it feels like to me, the sense that I get is that she was taken from you. I don't know that you were even allowed to be with her. Whatever time you were able to have with her, uh, which you did have, like you did have that connection, you did have that love. I feel like she was taken from you either through. I'm going to say this. It could have either been her passing, or it could have been her being married and maybe taken to another place in the world, or like another city somewhere away from you. And I feel like maybe you never recovered from that in this life. You also have the elephant charm here, which is like elephant never forgets. And to me, the elephant, it's like you could never forget her. You could never let her go. And this charm here says only you can give your special gift to the world. And to me, this feels almost like with the bulldog and the heart with the wings here, it almost feels like you're saying this to her. Only you can give your special gift to the world, meaning like only you can give me what I need. Only you are the only, that it's this idea of sort of like when she went away, excuse my dog snoring. When she went away, or whether it was due to a passing or being taken from you, like your access to her was no longer allowed, life stopped being a wonderful journey, and only she had like whatever it was that you needed, right? Like, or at least that was the feeling that you had. The frog represents cleansing, or the like sort of the cleansing of the spirit, the cleansing of the soul. And to me, he's upright, he's upside down, face down around this broken heart. To me, it feels like it was hard for you to scrub her away from, like you couldn't even scrub her off of your heart or the love that you had for her. So I want to see what this is. Your dreams are attainable. So this was also face down, which makes me feel like you guys couldn't be together. The dream was to be together. See, I'll show you guys underneath Vishnu, which to me, he's like sort of the closest thing. I do have a Jesus in here, but my Vishnu is like the closest idea to God, right? That I have in here. So this speaks to the idea of either God, religion, or like sort of societal norms for whatever the societal norms were in this lifetime. You guys were not allowed to be together. Whatever you two were up to would have been seen as wrong, and I feel like it was secretive. It was I get it. I also I get the feeling that you were with her multiple times. Like it went over maybe from like, how do I want to say this? Like you might have fallen in love with her when you were younger, and you were able to have a few years where you had access to one another. And this access, like underneath here, is this couple, right? This ring that's like this couple intertwined in like, sexual union, right? So you were able to connect with her at that level. But Vishnu sitting on it says to me that that was wrong, right? I get this feeling that that was like sort of inappropriate for the time. You knew that. She knew that. There was a risk to all of that. And that, but you guys took that risk. It was worth it to you. But when you lost her, when she was removed, either married off or if she passed, because you guys, I don't feel as though you were married. I don't feel as though you were supposed to be together, was the thing. You wanted to be together, but there was no way that you could. That's why your dreams are attainable was upside down. And this says upside down here, totally not happening. So it's like this sort of understanding. And like with the intuition charm, the sixth chakra charm, it's turned over. To me, it's like intuitively you knew this the whole time too, and you didn't listen. Like you still pursued her, or you pined for her, you wanted to be with her. And that's this loyalty and this, like she set your heart free. So I want to see what charm this is if I know. Oh, I think this is long distance healing. I believe. I don't know if I have any Reiki people in the room, but isn't this, it's not the building of power, and I can't remember the third one, but I think this is long distance healing. And so to me, that if that is long distance healing, that would indicate that I think she was removed from you. Ooh, the top of my head is buzzing. Like, I think that through marriage, like maybe her family married her off to another family that was of, like you were maybe beneath her, I think, to a degree. That's why she represents as this rose. She didn't treat you that way. She actually loved you. This is really sad. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bum you out, Marge, but to me, I feel like I want to say this. The beautiful things that I do see in here is the love, right? This love that's in this charm, the loyalty that was in this charm, the sort of like not ever giving up on how you felt about her. But what I do see as sort of limitations, which would be like sort of this turned upside down graduation pin, is like you never fully got over her. You never fully um, healed from that loss. And I think that to a certain degree, this charm is telling me that you knew, and also the sun like sort of gives energy to everything, right? And so for me to see the sun like that, face down, it feels like you kind of, it's like I feel like you knew you let the lights go out. It was like you had an option, either love her or let the lights go out, and you let the lights go out. And I think that, like, I feel like you lived to a fairly decent age. Like, you probably, um, I feel like you actually lived to be quite old. I feel like you might have passed normally, like, like nothing tragic about a passing. It feels to me like you lived alone for a lot of years. Shit, I didn't know this this past life charming was going to become a love charming. But to me, that's what this feels like. The other reason why I feel like this is desert culture is I feel like she was your desert rose, like in some ways. She was like sort of the center of your universe. And it feels to me like you gave up a lot for what you had with her because you never quite recovered from her being removed from you. I feel like I feel like this is long distance healing. I feel like she was married off somewhere else and had to go, and her family, it was just that's how it was. I don't feel like you lost her like to a death. I feel more like she was just physically too distant. A certain point, it just everything changed, and you never fully recovered from that. You stayed loyal to her. You stayed like you almost like I almost feel like in this lifetime you didn't how do I want to put this? Like you weren't able to beyond your love for her. And I also sense too that like as I'm looking at this, there was a little bit of anger. Like I don't, this doesn't strike me not towards her, but you were sort of angry at sort of a little bit about like angry at the whatever the societal laws were or the rules of that day, because this Vishnu sitting on this couple, to me, it sort of feels like it made you have to question like your relationship to God or your relationship to just humanity because it felt very unfair. Like at a very profound level, is sort of how I feel with this reading. And that's kind of also sort of this frog, like not being able to be cleansed, um, not being able to sort of access one's intuition, not being able to sort of forget it or let it go. Maybe the Sahara, yeah. I don't know if there's settings, Sean. I haven't found them. But this is how every charming's been, Sean. It's always been backwards like this. I don't know how to find the settings. I'll have to look at another point in time. I can look. Let me see. It's like it gives me, it just says flip vertically. It doesn't say flip horizontally. It doesn't give me that option. So I don't know how to, um, change it. And I'm afraid if I change it, if I mess with it too much, I'll screw it up and then you won't have a video at all. Hi, Lucy Figueroa. How are you? Marge Smith asks, do we repeat our past lives? Could this person be in my life now with our positions and male and female reversed? That's very possible, Marge. That's very, very possible. I think, like, I feel like, I don't think this to me doesn't feel like this was about, I want to say this was about choices that you made for another person, right? In this lifetime. So to me, it feels like this person could be in your life. This feels like a deep love that you had for this person. And it feels like you were unable to be with them. But the inability to be with them made you question sort of your place in the world and how you connected to the world, is the way that I'm looking at this. That's this sort of graduation cap that kind of feels to me like it might have stunted you a little bit in this lifetime. Like it shook you or kept you kind of, I mean, I think that it's beautiful that you love this person so much, but I also think that there's this part about um, that you also gave up so much when you lost her. So I don't know, like sometimes lessons can carry over. Sometimes, but my belief with these charmings, when people ask for past life charmings, I believe that usually the message that comes out in the charming is something that maybe applies to your life now, that you can find similar energy, like maybe a longing for something, or a relationship that maybe makes you question your position in the world. A relationship maybe where you're not trusting your own intuition. I would say maybe a relationship where you feel like you're restricted in some way, shape, or form that for because of who you are and not, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, um, and I don't mean you as a person, like personality wise. I'm talking about like this to me felt like it just like you guys were like not able to be together. I almost feel like she was of a higher caste or a higher not much higher though, because you guys were able to interact, I feel like. And I feel like you were with her for a few years. Like, in the sense, like maybe you were like friends growing up and you fell in love as you got to be teenagers. And then by the time she was like 16 or 17, you may have actually even been with her romantically or intimately. I believe that you were. It was probably against the rules. It was a big time no-no. It was a big risk to take. Um, it was, daring for both of you. It was forbidden love. It's kind of like, to me, like Saharan, somebody said Sahara. It's like Saharan Romeo and Juliet in a way, but like nobody kills themselves in this one, right? What makes me a little bit sad about this is it feels like you never really quite got over her. You never opened, like I almost feel like you stayed loyal and your heart stayed connected to her wherever she went in her life. And you sort of lived out the rest of your years sort of by yourself, kind of trying to understand why, and grappled with like sort of the issue of who you were, and if that was, sorry guys, the camera's out of whack. I hate when the camera does this. Come on. So to me, it feels like you spent many years kind of like just sitting on this upset that because of who you were, you weren't able to be an option. Does that make sense? She says, like you've been set adrift. but I don't feel like you were angry at her. I feel like you set yourself adrift. Adrift is a great word, Marge, because to me, I feel like this stone here says to me that you all knew better and you chose not to listen to your own intuition. You knew that it was wrong. Like this Vishnu sitting on top of them to me is like y'all took the risk. like and but I don't think you understood how big the risk was, if that makes sense. Like to me, I don't feel like you ever got over her. That's the sun being flipped over. Like, and it's kind of like the energy, the light, whatever was sort of taken from you when she was removed. And you couldn't do anything about it. You didn't have a say, you didn't have a choice in the matter. Facebook user says, I want a charm reading. I don't know who that is because your name's coming up as Facebook user. So I don't know like where this would apply in your life right now, Marge, but like it's sort of, to me, is there areas where you have not listened to your own intuition or maybe sort of given up in some ways? I don't feel like you gave up. I feel like I don't want to use give up like in that sense, but I do feel like you sort of, your focus was on her, and so it was all about her. And when she left, like the light went out, or not the light went out, but like it was like you could no longer see the sun. So you just sort of lived out this existence, this life with the memory of her, and you stayed loyal to her, to that memory, to that idea of what she was. But it was kind of like, and I feel like you lived a long time. Like you lived to a ripe old age. There was other options, like there was other opportunities to fall in love, I feel like, but you didn't take them. Oh, it's Amanda. Amanda, yeah, if you want, yeah, my dog is snoring. Amanda, if you want to, here, I'll put in the link if you want to send over $25. Make me holla, and I'll do a charming for you. So yeah, I've got two dogs in here snoring, guys. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's what I see. If you want to take a picture of this, you certainly can. Um, Sometimes it helps because if like you look at it later, it might remind you of stuff. Um, People take screenshots. It also helps too because like if any questions ever come up, I might need to see the charming again. Like, and I won't always remember where everything is. Like I feel like you. Oh, here's the thing, Marge. You say, "I yes, you can relate. I haven't given up, but I've ignored my intuition to my own detriment." Here's the thing, though. But you do it from a place of love, correct? I feel like you do it from a place of serving others, and that might be something that you might want to, like, putting your healing behind other people's needs that you love, or putting your cleansing, your sort of purification, or whatever you need behind others' needs. Like that sort of like is sort of, yes, it's always been for love. Exactly. Maybe not as extreme as this lifetime either, because with each lifetime we learn little by little, right? And we have different experiences. But this to me is like, whoa, like it feels like you left, like when she left, you led a, like pretty much a pure existence of just kind of wondering why you couldn't have her. um, and being sort of sad at that fact. Wait, Nicole? You just send over money? Are you here too, Nicole? I'm confused. Nicole, is this for the last charming? Or for the new charming? I'm confused. Because I just got payment from you, Nicole Chambliss. Are you in the room under a Facebook user and I can't tell you're here? Here's the link, guys. Because money just came through from you, Nicole. After Marge's. But remember, I gave you that charming that I was waiting for the money from. So I don't know if you're just paying me now, randomly, or... Can you see the link? Everybody's Facebook user. This is so weird. So you did get the picture, Marge. I'm going to clear it off. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it. Replying to Facebook user also on his business page. Oh, you can't see the link. Oh, shit. Restream chat is fucked up. I think I'm not going to be able to do this. I should have gotten 2. Let me see. Okay, I did get 2. Well, I see 1. Hold on. Maybe let me refresh my screen. Yes, I did get 2, Nicole. I did. Can somebody, whoever can see the link, tree link, can you copy it into the chat? I don't know how to do this. I did get 2, Nicole, so that's fine. If you want to, thank you for that. If you want a charming, I mean, what do you want your charming on? This Facebook user thing, I have to call Restream, because this is just, I can't see, I can't understand who's talking. Because it looks like there's like a bunch of you that have Facebook username on there. We're all Facebook users! Damn it! So I'm gonna have to call or something, I don't know. I don't like tech stuff. So, I don't see a link in the chat. Okay, so where are you watching from? That's Amanda, right? Oh God, Nicole, you want one on love? I should have warned you. I thought I had said that a few times. Love is, I'll do it on love, but just watch out. All right, I don't know. I keep putting it in here, into the chat. I don't know if somebody could copy it, whoever can see it. It looks like it's going to Facebook. It's giving me the green check for Facebook, but I don't know where you are, and this is a mess. Sorry. No, I can do love. It's up to you, Nicole. I can do love. It's if you want a love charming, that's fine. I'll do a love charming. I don't see Lisa Vanderhelm showing up as a Facebook user. I don't see Lisa Vanderhelm here. I see Lisa, yes, she is showing up as a Facebook user. She just starred her name. No, thank you, Marge. Marge just put the link in there. I can do love if you want, Nicole. I've just sort of been having some weird issues going on. So I don't want to, you know, convolute, but whatever you want, you tell me. Let's do career? Okay, we'll do career. Alright, so let's see what's going on in our career. R-E-D-Y. Okay, so I've always said this. Oh, sorry, I don't have the right camera on. I've always said this, Facebook, not Facebook. Spirit is not a great speller, I've noticed. with these Scrabble tiles. So this to me feels like ready. Like I'm thinking Spirit's trying to spell ready. They just didn't get an A in my hand, but I feel like the word is ready. That's what I feel like right now. All right, let's look at this. All right, so I have this funny. First off, I want to ask you if, like, is there any desire to write a book right out of the gate? Because you have the book and the spider right next to one another, which to me looks like there's no way to flip the camera. I can only flip it vertically. I know, like, I can't do. I would have to bring the camera around here, and it can't be on this side of the table with me. It's a mess. So you'll just have to deal with the backwards letters. It's a little like Ouija board, but whatever, deal with it. So I don't know if you want to write a book, but this feels like this might be something that you might want to do, but it feels to me like there's a lot of hard work involved, or you need to put in the muscle or put in the effort to do it. The spider is always about weaving, and the story, the creation story around spider is about weaving the alphabet in its web. So to me, that's always about writing or journaling, and then you have it right next to the book. So I don't know, but this is also in your past space to me. So I don't know if you've contemplated writing a book or something in the past. That might need to come forward a little bit. You might need to bring that forward a little bit. Let me see here. We have the crucifixion charm of Christ face down, right? I know this charm. And we also have the booze charm, the alcohol charm face down. I want to say right now we're actually getting our shit together, Nicole. Not to put you on blast, but I don't know if you've been drinking a little bit more and you're stopping that, and also maybe being hard on yourself and stopping that. Because I feel like these feel to me like, since they're in the sort of present moment, we are going like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that sort of behavior, or I want to stop being like my own worst critic. I like that you have the key here in the center. To me, this feels like there's an opportunity here. This speaks to the idea of opening some sort of a door, or some sort of new path that you're working on, you might be aware of. You do also have the intuition or sixth chakra charm face down to me. Where are we not listening to our intuition is the question that I want to ask about that. Because this is also up in the higher mind, which says to me, like, are we connecting to our intuition? Are we taking the time to connect to our intuition? These are like questions I would pose to you, not that I need you to doing it in a parallel. All right, Amanda, just give me one moment. I'm going to do hers and then we'll do yours. So to me, I'm just feeling like that we have, this is Green Tara, right? Which she's a very empowered female deity. I like that she's here, but let me just look at this for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do a little charm moving as I do this, but this is what I want to say. I feel like Green Tara is here to empower you. And I feel like you need to almost open the door or access that energy or that sort of connection to her. Or any sort of like female deity that's strong. It can be Mother Mary, it can be whatever. I just want you to sort of channel your own like inner goddess, right? This is sort of goddess energy to me. And it's empowered energy. And it's in the higher mind, but it's also in the present mind, sort of